Alrighty, how's everybody doing today? Out here on Homestead again. We're going to go over how to find a homestead. That's easy, folks. There's a few different things that's got to go into it. You got to have a little bit of patience. You got to have a little bit of ability to talk to people. That's the main thing. Whenever somebody's got something for sale and you want to buy it, you got to talk to that person. So maybe you're not a people person. Maybe you don't want to talk to people well. You're going to have to get over that so you can get out there and find you something you need, find you something you like. There's a lot of property for sale out there, but like I said, you got to talk to people. Now, I found my property here in Tennessee by just driving around. I checked it out, saw a for sale sign, called, was able to buy it from the owner. So it's almost 6 acres. We are unrestricted in the county. I told you a little bit about it in my last video. You can watch that, the do's and don'ts of homesteading. I went over a few things, some mistakes and stuff that I made. But this video is about how to find land, and you pretty much have to go out there and drive around and look for these signs. You can get online, Facebook, and everything. Google it, land for sale in your area. There's a bunch of different websites that you can find land for sale, but a lot of them aren't even listed. And the good places, the good deals, they're not going to be on there. And if they are on there, you better go look at it quick because they'll go fast too. Because you're not the only one that wants to buy a place. Can't be afraid to get out there and do it. You got to just jump into it if you want to get a place and you find something you like. You have to put a little effort into it. We are down here on the lower driveway again today. It is cold. That's why you see me in my winter jacket. I'm normally wearing just my flannel looking fall jacket. Whenever you're looking for some places, you got to think about what you want, what you don't want, where you want to be. Do you mind your property being on a corner like mine? Mine's on a corner, but I don't care. I'm not down there on the corner. My driveway comes in down from that way, but it doesn't bug me. 11 12 minutes to get from here to our church in town, and our church is pretty much smack dab center downtown. Pretty much the heart of the town is our church building. Okay. um, we got a lot of trees out here that have been sawing up. Lots of work to do. This is going to take 10 years to take care and clean up all this stuff. That's okay. I knew it whenever I was looking at it. That'd be a lot of work, and I'm 32 now, so I got plenty of years left. I hope to be able to get out here and do this stuff. When you're looking for a property and you find one you like, before you even pick up the phone call, it's a good thing to do is just go ahead and pray about it. Yep. Get your mind off of everything else and think about what you want to do, what you want to see in your life. Everything will work out better that way. And if it's something you need, something you want, something you're going to work hard for, that's going to help you out a lot. It's just talking it over with your spouse, obviously, if you're married. Got kids that are kind of teenager or something, you want to take on a lifestyle of being a homesteader. Definition of homesteader for me, I believe it's just taking a piece of property somewhere and making it your own. Maybe nobody's ever lived there before, or it's been a long time since somebody's lived there before. Some places already have a house on them, old farmhouse. Mine didn't. Mine had just a little tiny trail going through the woods. I could barely even get into the woods. Um, Two little entry points is all. And now we got a road going through here, but it's currently not gravelled still. A couple years later, gravel costs money, and gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do it when you can, and when you got if you got kids or something like that, or other responsibilities to take care of, you're not going to get everything done all at one time. You can't go getting into debt like I was talking about in my last video, like I have in the past. Uh, Getting stuff all at once. You gotta just kind of slow it down. Whenever you find a property you like, you got to remember you're going to be there for a long time. So you got all this time to work on this stuff. It doesn't have to happen overnight. People might drive by and see you working, and they'll honk, wave at you. They know you're out here working on it. So if your place looks bad from the road, like mine does sometimes. I still got some brush from the other day. It's been cold and snowy, so I haven't got out here in chopped it up, burned it or nothing like that. And I got piles all over in the woods, brush that was cut from when we cleared the trees out of this little road going through here. I ain't too worried about that. I mean, that stuff does not hurt nobody. It's my property. I own it. I can have stuff sitting around if I want. It's not a big deal. So finding land, you got to get out there, look around for it, call the signs. If you see a for sale by owner sign, sometimes that's the best thing to do is to call those signs because those are the people you need to talk to. Establish a relationship with people when you talk to them. And first impressions are everything. You don't want to be snotty to people. Okay, you don't want to be mean on the phone. If you don't think it's worth that much money, don't bother the person. So if you think it's worth just a little bit less than what they're selling it for, or you have just a little bit less, you can talk to them, explain that to them. But you don't gotta bash them or anything like that on their property because you don't know if they got it from their grandma or what circumstances they got it from, or what kind of value it has to them in their head. That's how you find property. You pretty much got to get out there and start looking for it. There's different ways to get financed. You can get financed through a bank if you got good credit. I wasn't able to do that. I had to do an owner financing deal. My property goes way up there. Way up there. We can barely hear the road or anything. Yeah, these people out here, they'll stop, talk to me out here. Ask me if I need any help. Somebody left me a chainsaw one day out here. I got home and there was a chainsaw right outside our little cabin. We used to have a cabin down here. Um, it's in a few. I think it's in a few of the videos from when we first got the property. We had a little 12 by 24 yard barn cabin set up. Had a little bathroom in it. Had a generator to run it and everything. We had beds in there. We had it like a little house, guys. It was nice. So if you can get out there and get on a property, you can get something like that. If you got a little bit of know-how to wire up some lights in there, get you a generator. First got the property, we had a generator and we had solar. So we had a little solar operation going on. Some batteries to charge up. Unfortunately, we had left and went out of state for a winter, and somebody broke into that building, and this little camper here, which I'll probably show in a million videos, but that little camper right there has been broken into. I've talked about that before. They stole my solar power inverters and batteries and log splitter, chainsaws. The one I was telling you about, somebody gave me, they stole that. Part saws, they stole tools, clothes, furniture, diapers, food. The list goes on. It's everything we left behind for later. They stole it. So you got to make sure your place is secure. Put up some trail cameras as soon as you get a place, and then you know if you got any nosy neighbors poking around, walking around in your place, because a lot of people don't have any respect for your place. My last video, I went over something I'm going to show you right here, just because I happened to look up and see it. Right here is a light. It is got a solar panel above it and a motion light. So whenever somebody walks down the driveway, they'll hit this area here. The light will come on. It'll scare them off. And if they go down farther towards the camper that way, the light will come on over there by the camper. And another thing you can do is get some barbed wire whenever you find a place, and you can start to kind of put some wire up. You could probably see it. Parts of this property, I put up a couple strands this way. You get your property, you can get some of these $10 motion lights at Walmart that I was telling you about. They're solar powered motion lights. And then if you got an area that's close to the road, what you could do is you can put one that if somebody drives by, or if they park out front or something like that, don't have it directly shining at the road, but shining enough to where the sensor can get their car on the thing, and that will let people know that you got some kind of security going on in there, and that you're doing something in there. So it gets people's attention. You can put up some flags and stuff on the trees. I got a flag down there in the corner. Um, so little things like that let people know that it's your place. So you want to have some kind of markers and stuff to show people that's your land. And when you buy a place, you need to put up some signs: beware dog, no trespassing, no hunting, whatever you wanted to say. Put it in there. Don't be afraid to put up the signs. If you own it, you need to just go ahead and claim it. Don't let people on it that you don't know, because people will ruin your stuff. They'll break into your stuff. So it's worth spending a few extra bucks to have a little added security when you buy a homestead. Um, Big thing about finding land, people, is you need to check down at the county office, or municipality, wherever the property's at, and figure out if it's unrestricted and what you can do on that land. Now, there's a lot of places around the country, that's getting pretty popular to live in the shed houses. Well, here you can't do that unless they're built to code and put on a foundation and everything like that. Now, we had one, we still do have one. We can stay in it if we want. It's not permanent living quarters or anything like that. Um, but when we came out here, we could definitely stay in there. Guests can stay in there. Got bathroom in there, power, heat, all that stuff. One up above's got a wood stove sitting in there. Um, so we could fire up a nice little fire if we wanted to, get that place warm. Um, we're currently going to be starting to use it to make our t-shirts and stuff up there and that. So we'll probably make some videos of the inside of the cabin. Um, Show you guys a little bit of some different parts of the property. Um, I'm going to be cleaning out the pig pen. I'll show you a little bit more about that. Cars coming by. Not waving at everybody. They'll be waving at you out here. So you got to find somewhere that's friendly when you're looking for your property. I'd stay away from states that are kind of blue, if everybody knows what I'm talking about. But here in Tennessee, we got a Republican governor, and it seems to be working out okay for me. Not that other states aren't just as good or whatever, but works out good here. A lot of leniencies down here if you're just keeping to yourself. So you want to make sure you're in a place that's not very restrictive of what you're doing. If you want to get power on your property, you got to make sure that you can get power ran to your property here. The power lines across the street, but they did have to get permission from my neighbor to run the lines across the field, which I was fortunate that he agreed on that. So you got to be nice to everybody when you get your place. You got to meet everybody, go knock on the door, say, hey, I'm Tim. My name's Timothy. I bought this place next door. Tell them what you're going to be doing in there. Tell them you're going to be homesteading it. You're going to be starting to stay out there on the weekends. You're going to be doing this and that. And if you're a person that likes to hunt and stuff like that, tell them you're going to be hunting on your property. If you're going to be doing some noise making and shooting guns and stuff like that, and you're going to set you up a fire range like I did, which I'll show you in a video. I got a gun range up here. You can tell your closest neighbors about it. Say, hey, I'm going to be doing a lot of shooting, target shooting with my little 22s or whatever you got. And I got a gun range. It's got a nice backstop. You don't got nothing to worry about. I took a safety course, all that stuff. Bullets can't go nowhere. You got to be really nice to your people around you. Let them know what's going on. Then they know what you're doing, and they ain't worried about you. That's old Tim over there shooting in his fire range. So works out good for me. So I don't have to worry about anything. Safety's first whenever you get out here doing stuff. You got to have your safety. Even when you go to look at your property and when you're finding your property for your homestead, you need to be safe. Okay, you've never set foot on that property before. You don't know if there's a hole in the ground where snakes live, something like that. You don't know where beehives are at, so you need to be careful. If you're allergic to bees, you don't want to go out on some property that you don't know without your EpiPen or whatever you got to take with you to be safe. Okay, because I know here in Tennessee we got ground bees, and I've actually had some on my property before, and I got lit up. I was moving some brush around, had a little fire going, moved a log by the fire, and all of a sudden the bees came out. They stung me. My mom was here. They stung her. So you got to watch that stuff. We were over on our cousin's property over there one time with him, and He's a couple properties over. Uh, we got stung over there by ground bees. We were just walking around, and all of a sudden there's bees everywhere stinging us. So if you're like that, you got to make sure you have your safety. If you're gonna be out there on a hot day walking around the property, make sure you wear your hat, sunscreen or something. But don't go out there and just be reckless about it when you're looking for a place. Okay, if there's a driveway to the property and you could be visible from the road with your vehicle, you need to leave your vehicle by the road there so somebody knows you're there. Put a note in the window, looking at property to purchase or something like that. If there's signs out there, so that way if the owner does pull up, they see a weird car at the place, uh, there's a note in the window. They know you're on the property. They know why you're out there, that you're looking at the place. Okay, so neighbors might not know why you're out there. Maybe they just listed it online and you want to go take a look at it, but the neighbors don't know that it's for sale yet or whatever, and they think you could be in there stealing or something. So you want to make sure that you're visible. You don't hide from people, stuff like that. Whenever you're looking for your property, um, it's good to tell people who you are, even if you aren't sure you're buying a place. Introduce yourself. If they stop by and ask you if you're all right, if you park alongside the road you're looking at, say, yeah, my name's Timothy. I'm looking at this place. I'm thinking about buying it. So then next time they see you out there when you buy it, they know who you are and they know your car, and then they're going to stop and talk to you, and they're going to establish that relationship, that neighborly relationship that you need to have with the people in your area. Okay. Now, um, it's just important to be friendly to people when you're getting into this stuff. So that's all you need to find your homestead. You just get out there and look for it. It's easy to get people to sell you something. If people have it for sale, it's because they don't want it. So if they wanted to keep it, they wouldn't have it for sale. Owner financing is a good way to do it. That's where the owner basically becomes the bank of the place, and they sign over the deed to you, which you'll have a mortgage on file at the county clerk's office. So you own the property, they don't, but in the deed it still says that you have a mortgage on it, that you have to pay them every month. That's what I did here. So the people that I bought the property from cannot say or do anything on this property. They can't come on this property. They can't tell me what to do on the property. All they can do is collect their money every month from me until it's paid off, which I'm getting close to getting it paid off now. But it's mine. It's not theirs no more. Just like in the bank. The bank doesn't own your place. If you pay your payments every month, the bank's not going to come knocking on your door trying to get you foreclosed on. So there's a lot of different deals you can do with people. Some people get just what's called a land contract, um, which I don't know as much about them as I do a regular mortgage, but a land contract just kind of says that you got so long to either pay the place off in full or get a mortgage on it through somebody else, which they would pay the place off in full to them. So you would make payments in those months, or a couple years, 5 years, whatever the term would be, to till you get your place paid off or mortgage through somebody else somehow. So mine, I just keep paying the people until it's paid off. So that's how mine works. You can go through a bank, but you got to have like really good credit when you buy a property that doesn't have a house on it, and they like to already have you owning property and stuff. So I wasn't able to go through a bank with this place. So I didn't own anything. I was just renting. Um, so we were still renting when we bought this place. Started coming out here doing all this work. Then decided to go full time on it. You'll save money when you're living on your property if you do things right. That's about all I got for you on finding property. You got to get out there and get it. You got to put some work into it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Pine Ridge Homestead. Subscribe to my channel. Like my videos. Share me on the Facebook or whatever you want to do. All right. Thanks. Bye.